What's going on, guys? Brother Russia here, back with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And today we are actually going to be finishing up the EZA for STR JIREN here. So his EZA is actually pretty easy. So for this JIREN, Miraculous Awakening is the category that you want to use. And the units that aren't affected by his damage reduction are Super and Extreme AGL, Super and Extreme Int, Super STR, and Super Fizz. So those are the types that aren't affected by his like damage reduction. So that's what you would want to use to kind of take him on. So I've already got a team built here. So I'm using the MUI Goku as our leader, just because he is a Miraculous Awakening leader. And then on top of that, I brought this Gohan because he's on the category as well. If you don't have the MUI Goku, you could actually run Gohan as your leader if you wanted to, because he is a Kamehameha and a AGL type leader. So you could bring a few other like AGL Miraculous Awakening units if you need to kind of use it as like a filler. And you can use Gohan as a leader if you don't have the Goku. And then I brought the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta that goes into Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. We got the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, we got Super Saiyan God Goku, and then I brought the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well, just because he's not affected by the damage reduction or anything like that. So I've been kind of like autoing this entire thing, because realistically, like, the fight itself is not, like, it's not difficult at all. Like, this JIREN is actually very, very easy. And there's a lot of AGL Miraculous Awakening units that you can use. So it actually just makes this fight that much easier. But this JIREN, though, I feel like they didn't give him much for his EZA. I feel like they honestly could have done a lot better with him. And I feel like they kind of held back a little bit. And I said this in like I think it was the data download video, but I did mention that I think there might be another like JIREN or something on the horizon. And that's maybe why they didn't give this one like as much as we were hoping for. It's either that or they just had like an EZA for him planned like a really long time ago, and they just didn't really update a whole lot to it. Because after his EZA, his super, he greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes immense damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers defense. And then for his passive, they didn't give him much. So for his passive, he's got Ki +2, attack and defense 200%, and a medium chance of stunning all enemies at the start of turn. So the stunning all enemies is actually good, because if you can get that off, especially in like a super battle road stage or something like that, this JIREN actually does work better if the enemy is stunned. And then, so he gets attacks effective against all types when facing only one enemy at the start of turn. He reduces damage received by 30% when facing 2 or more enemies at the start of turn. He gets a additional attack and defense plus 50% and a high chance of stunning the attacked enemy when performing a super. He performs a critical hit when the target enemy is stunned. So that's what I was saying about his like the passive at the very beginning, where he's got the medium chance of stunning all the enemies. If you can honestly get that part of his passive off, it actually does work. Like, it does work better with the rest of his passive, because you were able to get because you can get that crit in there, like guaranteed crit if he does stun them. And then on top of that, he gets an additional attack and defense plus 111% and performs a crit when there is a Universal Survival Saga or Tournament Participant category enemy. And that's all they gave him. Like, they didn't give him much else. Like, you know, I feel like they maybe could have gave him like maybe a chance to stun on his super, because really you're kind of hoping for the medium chance in his passive to stun all enemies at the starting turn. And if he doesn't get that off, then you're really missing out on a lot of the rest of his passive, because you miss out on like that extra, like the crit, the guaranteed crit that he can do. And then the other thing is he's only good, like you get the most out of this Jiren when you are fighting a Universal Survival Saga or a tournament participant category enemy. And the problem is there's not a whole lot of them in the game right now. You know, guaranteed, like right now on the JP side, we do have the like quote unquote blue zone that they just released. So we are going to probably have some fights coming up from the Tournament of Power and stuff like that. So this Jiren might actually serve a purpose in the future. But like as of right now, I mean, your best bet to get like the best out of this Jiren, other than Dokkan events, is like the legendary Goku event or the legendary Vegeta event. Because that's when they're like tournament participants or Universal Survival Saga, but you don't even get those until like way later in the fight anyway. So I don't know. I mean, this Jiren, like I said, they could have done a lot more with him. They probably could have buffed his stats a little bit more. Could have just made him effective against all types. It didn't have to be just one enemy. They could have just made that like, you know, just right off the rip, effective against all types just from the get-go. Maybe if he was facing like 2 or more enemies, maybe they could have gave him like guard, because if you think about it, I mean, the guy is pretty much like a defensive wall the entire time he's fighting anyone. So they could have gave him like guard instead of damage reduction. I mean, they did give him like the 50% chance, or the 50% attack and defense and a high chance of stunning the attacked enemy when performing a super. But I mean, if, like I said, if the stun doesn't proc from either the beginning of his passive, where he can just stun the enemies just freely, and if he doesn't get it from when he supers, then he doesn't get the free crit. You know what I mean? Like he just doesn't get that free crit. So, I mean, we'll see. The problem with him too is he's on Universe 11. And I honestly don't know why they gave Universe 11 a category to begin with, because the category is it's so small. Like you have LR Jiren, you have Margarita, you have Topos, you have Dispo, and then you have the free-to-play Casserole, and that's it. Like, I don't even know, like I don't know why they gave Universe 11 a category. Like, I don't know. Like, it legitimately does not make sense to me. And like, I'm almost wondering, like, were they possibly thinking of giving us like a Universe 2 category with like Ribrianne and stuff like that as like leader, because they have about the same amount of units, but they don't have their own like category, thankfully. But yeah, like Universe 11, I mean, unless they're planning on giving us a lot more Jirens, Dispos, like a God of Destruction Topo, you know, unless they're like Belmod, like, are they planning on giving us like any of the gods? Because if they gave us Belmod, I mean, he'd probably be a pretty good support, like kind of like how Champa is for Universe 6. But, you know, obviously we have Margarita, who she's a Universe 11 category ally, key 3 and 40% attack and defense support unit. But I mean, other than that, like like I said, I don't know. This category I feel like was just a waste. I feel like they just wanted to add in a category just to sell the unit to, you know, to the player base. And I feel like they could have honestly just avoided even making this category. But I feel like at the time of the hype and everything with Jiren, maybe that's why they just did it. I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately with Jiren, he's not going to get a whole lot of use right now. Like I said, if the blue zone or anything like that happens to have any kind of like tournament participant fighters, which I mean it should, because like the Kaioken Goku technically is a tournament participant unit. So I'm sure that they'll probably get into like Super eventually. Like, I don't know, maybe you'll fight Hit, maybe you'll fight like Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Goku, or Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, maybe like UI Gokus and stuff like that. So I mean, the Jiren may have a purpose soon, but like as of just right now, he doesn't serve that much of a purpose. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. And his best linking partner is the LR, Jiren. Honestly, I mean, he gets 5 links with the LR Jiren. He gets 5 links with Dispo. He actually gets 5 links with a lot of units. He gets 5 links with Tech Hit, the Extreme STR Gohan and Golden Frieza, the Hit and God Goku. Like, he surprisingly does link up pretty well with a lot of the Universal Survival Saga units. And then with the STR like God Destruction Topo, he gets 4 links with him. So I mean, if you want to run him on like a Universe 11 team, that's probably where your best bet's going to be, because that's where all of his support's going to be. But there you guys go. I mean, we're just kind of talking through it, just going through the couple stages just because of how easy it was. There are some missions that are involved with that as well. So if we go over here, you just have to, I think it's like you just clear, I think with all these missions you get 3 stones, but it's just clear stage 20 in under 2 minutes and 50 seconds, clear stage 10 in under 2 minutes, and beat level 20 or higher with the Miraculous Awakening category characters in your team. So, or just with a Miraculous Awakening category character. So as long as you just have one, I mean, you'll complete these missions. And if you're just doing the category anyway, you're going to complete all these missions with no issues. So there you guys go. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. And if you guys did, consider hitting that like button. And if you are new here, consider subscribing. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.